Our next inductee, Jerry Braunberger. And joining Jerry tonight, first of all, his wife, Sherry, son, Jason, daughter, Lori Davis, daughter-in-law, Darcy Davis, daughter, Kimberly Brooks, son-in-law, Lance Brooks, son-in-law, Alton Thomas, and friends, Judy and Dale Bachman. Let's meet Jerry Braunberger.
The community of Cottage Grove receives so much benefit from the efforts of Jerry Braunberger. It is hard to believe that the longtime administrator and fundraiser never planned on leaving his native North Dakota or certainly getting into the school business. Jerry wanted to work in medicine. Circumstance took him to North Dakota Teachers College. Graduating in 1961, the education market brought him to Cottage Grove. It is there he began a 31-year run as a Grover, teaching, coaching, and administrating in the South Lane District. Cottage Grove was the smallest school in the Midwestern League for a majority of those years, yet Jerry always thought big, and the Grove enjoyed success in many sports, particularly swimming and track and field. Along the way, Braunberger completed his master's degree at Oregon State, where he developed a love for the Beavers. His athletic director tenure was only a 9-year stretch in the 70s, but his impact was felt, hiring many successful coaches. Jerry gained notoriety when he rescued a young reporter who stepped in between an irate fan and a referee following a hotly contested game in Cottage Grove's claustrophobic gym. He was OADA president from 1977 to 79, and it was during this time he also became an active fundraiser and community leader. Cub Scouts, Lions Club, United Way, Braunberger was a leader and a rainmaker. Perhaps his most notable effort was establishing the Cottage Grove Recreation Association, a comprehensive youth sports program somewhat unique to a smaller community. In 1990, Braunberger stepped into district administration with South Lane for the remainder of his school career. After retiring from the South Lane District, Jerry connected with new business partners with strong Oregon State connections, and his fundraising prowess was put to use again. For 7 years, Braunberger was the top fundraiser for the Beaver Athletic Scholarship Fund. His secret to asking for money? Pretty simple. Just believe in what you're doing. These days, you'll find Jerry in Springfield with his wife, Sherry, and frequently he's behind the wheel of a 1985 Camaro, driving in autocross competitions with his son and fellow members of the Emerald Empire Sports Car Club. This is a big year for Jerry. Not only is he joining the Cottage Grove Hall of Fame, tonight we welcome him to the OADA Hall of Fame.
So, Jerry, this is your second week in a row, then. This Hall of Fame thing must be getting a little old, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Okay. What are we, chopped liver?
Community of Powers has produced more
No,
than a
it
share
isn't getting old. It is getting old wearing this suit, though, you know.
I am with you there.
I only thought I'd wear it for funerals and weddings, but I found out I wear it for Athletic Director Hall of Fame.
Well, you have done so many things in your career, and I noticed that you have been called upon to speak at national meetings of athletic directors and kind of talking about what goes on. What is it that you really feel is at the heart of an athletic director that you like to pass on to people to make them successful?
Probably getting people involved. Just like Boyd said, you know, there's a lot of community members who will get involved if you ask them, or if they really see the need for what you're wanting to get them involved. And I was fortunate to have a lot of community people who assisted in that.
What were some of the big challenges for you at Cottage Grove? We have seen athletics have the heyday. We've seen times where budgets are a big problem and organization for people, and it's changed a lot. What were the big challenges for you as you look back over your career?
One of the biggest challenges, Cottage Grove, when I came to Cottage Grove, we were in the large school district in the state. In those days, not North Bend, Coos Bay was close to 2,000 students, North Eugene, Sheldon, South Eugene. They were all large schools, and Cottage Grove was about 600 students, just over the bottom of the classification division. So it was really tough, you know, for strictly a numbers factor. And probably one of the driving forces of my getting involved in the community and getting the Cottage Grove Recreation program going was we needed to have a youth recreation and sports program because these other schools had strong programs in those areas, and if we're going to even try to compete in that, we needed to have programs.
Well, the work of an athletic director is a lot of work. What in doing that did you get the most joy from? What was the fun part of going to work and doing that job every day?
Just working with the students. That was the fun part of it and why I did it. I've always believed the last thing young people need is free time on their hands because they're going to fill it with something, and when they're in athletics, when they're in that music, drama, any type of activity, they're working with coaches, directors, and they're involved in something constructive, and otherwise they may be involved in something that isn't constructive.
So now I've been to Cottage Grove many times to do football games for the OSAA. You have a beautiful facility there off of what once was kind of a decrepit old facility for a long time. Big project. How were you able to help get that done?
Well, you're right. The old high school was decrepit. That's all the years I was athletic director and teacher. Spent 31 years in the district, and it was an old building. It was a unique and had a lot of character, but it had outlived its days, and I was unfortunate that we never passed the budget for the high school while I was on staff. But when I moved from the high school as athletic director to the district administration office as the director of personnel and supports services, one of the things that I did was work on a planning committee for a new high school. And in the process, the district purchased the land for the new high school, which was right at the edge of Cottage Grove. And a lot of the planning of the project was done then. And without that land, obviously the high school probably would have never been built as early as it was. And to this day, when I talk to people, and I say I was from Cottage Grove, if they've been there, and generally they've been there for sports. The sports facility is very good enough that the OSAA holds some of its state events there. But the academic program is very good there also. I don't think it's any different than Oregon. You know, everybody knows about Oregon's, even though I'm an Oregon State Beaver. Today, Oregon has a really strong athletic program. They have the money to back it, but you don't hear a lot about their academic program.
All right. Well, congratulations to you. I noticed you brought quite a cheering team with you, and a person who is known very well. Who would you like to mention, to thank maybe for a long career and the help along the way?
Well, Boyd hit it on the nail. You need to have a wife who understands what you're doing and accepts that you're not going to be there a lot of the time. And my wife was very supportive. Really, she raised the family. I spent more time with other people's children than I did with my own, I think, and she did a good job of it, and my kids turned out pretty darn good.
Well, we'll watch for you cruising 105 in that rig. Let's have a big hand for Jerry Braunberger. Congratulations.
To present Jerry's plaque and Hall of Fame pin, former Westland and Wilsonville AD and Hall of Fame member Pete Russo.